everybody, my name is Joey. Welcome to my channel. I got my Potomac beads treasure box for the month of May. It always comes in this wonderful little box with a magnetic closure. I know it's a little close to the camera, but it snaps closed. I love getting these because I'm in a perpetual state of organizing my beads and tools and jewelry supplies, and so I love to make labels for these and store things in them that I don't need to see. But look at this month's collection. It's called Stormy Shores. It's so beautiful. This box is just getting better and better. This is our list of ingredients, and I'm going to start off by showing you what we have in this box that is a non-bead. Every month they try, pretty much every month, the Potomac Beads team tries to put something in the box that is not a bead, but something that's a tool or something for our work tables. And I love what they did this month. It's amazing. It is a little needle case that snaps closed, and it has a magnetic base, and there are a couple of needles in here. So I have a little dog and a little cat, and I have heard horror stories about pets getting in trouble with people's beading needles. So I am really careful about storing my needles like this where my animals can't get hurt, and also, you know, they don't drop on the floor and you don't step on them and things like that. But what I plan to do with mine is put it in with my travel items, because I travel with my friends to bead shows and to like beading nights at different bead shops a few hours away in South Florida, and I like to have a little bag ready. So I was so happy to get that. That is just wonderful. And then I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I am dying to make a pair of earrings. So the first thing on the list are Potomac crystal rondelles. And let's get a piece of wire so I can get my fingers out of the way. Look how beautiful they are. And I'm just going to say here, if you're not interested in getting a bead box subscription that comes to you every month, don't forget not to overlook the Potomac Beads website, because if you go on the tab marked crystals, it is highly organized, and you will see every millimeter, every color, every shape, from rondelle to bicone and so forth. So that is, you know, just something not to be overlooked. And I always put the link in the description box of my video. So if you use that, it helps out my channel. But we also got these beautiful crystal bicones. They're 4 millimeter in an aqua color. And we also got these, which these are not going in my first project, but these are going to go in my second project. And so if you know me at all, if you've been here before on this channel, you know that it's impossible for me to unbox beads, and I'm already instantly designing. When I opened this, I knew what I wanted to make today, and as I looked at the beads, I already knew what my next project was going to be. So I'll put this video, this in another project. But these are 6 millimeter check smooth rounds. I absolutely love the finish on these. It's so gorgeous. Let's see. These are called crystal blue. So beautiful. And then they put these gorgeous crystal Montes in our box again. I don't know if my piece of wire is going to be too big to go through these. It is. But if you're not familiar, a Monte is a prong set crystal. And on the back, it has 2 channels. So you can run fine gauge wire or bead stringing wire or thread through the channel in either direction. And it is just a wonderful way to add a little sparkle and a little bling to any project. And then this is going to go in my project today. I love these. This is a disco ball, and it is aptly named because the facets on this are absolutely amazing, and it does look like a ball hanging from the ceiling of a dance floor, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And then we got this little mix of check glass rounds that are faceted. Now my ingredient list says these are 6 millimeter. They are obviously 3 millimeter. They're very small, but they are so beautiful. It's this pretty like mix of gray and seafoam. Really, really pretty. And then one of my favorite, if not my favorite thing in the box, are these little check glass fishies. And you will be seeing these in my next video for sure. My entire design is centered around these little gold wash fishies. I love these so much. I just think they are adorable. And I have a whole bunch of check glass fish in my supplies, but I do not have this cute, tiny little minnow. They are just so sweet. I'm a lifelong Floridian, so as a child, like all the little minnows and little fishies in the lakes and ponds here, it's like a childhood memory. So these just make me so happy. I just love them. And then we got these beautiful aqua, really satiny storm duos in this month's kit. They're a 2 whole bead and they're just wonderful. I'm going to be using 2 of these guys. These are round duos, so they also are a 2 whole bead, but they look like a little satin coin or a little tiny button. I just love them. So I'll take 2 of those out because they are going to go, just 2, in my project for today. Get another one. And let's see, I've come back around here, and then I am just in love with this. You guys, look at this Rivoli. It is an 18 millimeter Rivoli. I just love it. If you're not familiar with this kind of a stone, a Rivoli comes to a point on the top and on the bottom. And one of the reasons that not only is it stunning, but on my bucket list to do is to get better at bezeling. And I love the idea of doing a bezel on an 18 millimeter stone because, you know, generally when you're really trying to learn something, the bigger you can make it, the better. It's easier to see what you're doing and kind of hone your skills. So when I opened this, I was completely ecstatic to see this. And this is so beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So that's going to be on my project list to do a bezel and maybe make a pendant. And then the 2 metallic or metal items that you see here are from Athena Cast, and that is the Potomac Beads line of findings. Almost everything is made in Greece. Very high quality plating on everything. And I have found that if you're missing Tierra Cast that went out of business, although one of the viewers did tell me that the company was purchased and they may come back in another form, but a lot of people in the jewelry industry in America at least were devastated when Tierra Cast went out of business. But the Athena Cast line is a great alternative, and there are so many items in the line. So this is a silver plate leaf bail that you could pinch this, but you know, you would also put a little glue on this. And then I love these little shells. These are so amazing. And I already have a plan for my little shells. This is, you know, front and back there. You can see the dimension. It's just a little gold shell charm with a loop at the top. So I love those. And then aren't these adorable? These are the Bead Tech wooden laser cut items, and it's an articulated little fish. Isn't it cute? So you can do your jump rings on the little holes that are laser cut. You can embellish this with bead, or you could paint it. You can glue things on this. When I looked at this, I thought how adorable this would make hanging off of a bookmarker. Just so cute to have the articulation and have that little bit of movement coming out of the top of a book or a puzzle book. It's so lovely. And so, like I said, the fish I think might be my favorite item in this box, but I also am crazy about the gemstone strand that we got in this box. These are 3 millimeter faceted round agate beads, and I just love them. I love it when we get a strand of petite gemstones, and you will be seeing this in my next video as well. I just think they're so beautiful. And what I'm planning to do is use one of these, and let me get one of these. This is going a little sneak peek because that's going to go into my next project. So I already designed it. When I opened the box, immediately I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And then I love these too. And I have these in quite a few colors, but this is a beautiful cobalt blue conch shell check glass with a silver wash. They're so dimensional and they have so much detail, honestly. And when you look through the silver wash, you can see how really stunning that cobalt blue color is. It's so pretty. And then I am beyond ecstatic whenever we get Potomac pearls in the treasure box, and this color is absolutely amazing. I can't even tell you how I feel about this color. This is called Comet, and it is a 3mm glass pearl. And if you're not familiar with Potomac pearls, you are missing out, because I used to spend a fortune on like Swarovski pearls for my bead weaving projects. And when I discovered Potomac pearls, I just stopped spending that money, because these are high quality. They do not peel, they do not scratch easily. And when you go on the Potomac Beads website to the section for pearls, you will see that if you love this color, you can have a choice of all the millimeter sizes. They have so many choices. It's unbelievable. And the quality on any size is just wonderful. And I do not have this color, and I just think it's wonderful. It does look a little bit stormy, but it's so gorgeous. And I'll tell you what I decided to do. When I cut these open, I am going to glue a little stormy pearl inside each of my charms. Just a little bit of E6000 or gel Loctite super glue, and each one of my little gold shell charms is going to get a pearl inside. That's what I decided to do. But I'm also going to use these pearls for today's project. I absolutely love Potomac pearls, so I'm just going to say again, even if you're not interested in receiving the treasure box or the other kit that they do is called the kit edition, that one has bead weaving patterns in it. Do not overlook this wonderful website, because you will be amazed if you have never looked at the pearl colors and sizes that are available. And if you're not familiar with the quality of this, you really are missing out. So I always put a link in the description box to the Potomac Beads website. And, you know, the pearls are just one of my favorite things. So another favorite of mine are seed beads, and they almost always try to put seed beads in the treasure box. But this month we got 2 different seed beads. So these are a Toho opaque rainbow 11-0 in a navy blue. They are just absolutely stunning. I hope you can see through the tube, because I'm not going to open these yet. And then the Azuki line of seed beads is kind of an up and coming new seed bead, kind of a trendy one. And these are, what size are these? These are 8-0 Azuki seed beads, and these are silver lined light sapphire. So just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could do a project with just those 2 seed beads. I have an entire playlist for super easy seed bead projects, and probably 99% of them do not require a needle and thread. So, you know, maybe check that out. I can link that in the description box of this video. So let's see, did I miss anything? I think that is everything. So I'm just going to clean up a little bit, and we are going to do a project. Okay, I'm going to be using these pearls, 2 of the round duo beads, and although we got seed beads in this month's box, I wanted a different color, and this was the Azuki seed bead collection that was in last month's treasure box. And I'm going to go right here to these pink silky, this colorway. They are really tight to open, so let me get this open without having seed beads go everywhere. But this colorway here, I just thought it looked like the inside of a conch shell. Can you see how pretty that is? So I'm going to take one of my little trays and just put a few of these out here. I thought that was such a pretty accent color to the stormy pearls. And just like, to me, like I said, when you look inside of a lot of the conch shells and seashells, you have that kind of a peachy pink color. So I decided to add that in to my project from last month's seed bead collection. I also am going to pull in some Potomac gold seed beads. These are, let's see, these are called pale metallic gold. Like I said, if you're not familiar with the Potomac Beads website, you really are missing out, because it's super organized. And if you're looking for seed beads, if you just go under the seed bead section of the website, you will find all the metallics, all the sizes and shapes. And for me, I love the demi rounds and the donut beads, and they have a great supply of those. You see me use those a lot in my videos, so check that out. Like I say, the treasure box is wonderful and I love getting it. But I do know that I get a lot of bead boxes because I'm, reviewing them on a YouTube channel, and not everybody gets as much as I do, but don't overlook the great website. So I'm going to just cut open these pearls, and I'll pull a few off to get started. And I'm also going to bring in a little scrap of my Soft Flex 49 strand bead stringing wire. I love this color. It's like a turquoise color, and that is literally all I had left on my spool. So I'm going to need 2 pieces, and I'm going to make a beautiful little pair of pearl earrings. Oh, and I forgot one bead I wanted to add in. Let's cut that in half, and I am going to need, just to reach off to the edge here, I'm going to need 2 of these little disco balls, and I'm digging off to the side here for my Athena cast ball head pins. So I have these beautiful 2-inch, these are 29 karat gold plated ball head pins, and they are just such a nice quality and such a nice thickness. And so I'm going to make a couple of little dangles for my earrings with my Athena cast head pins. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just create a little pattern for my earring, just a little bit of a pattern here. So I'm going to start with a gold seed bead, and then nope, I'm going to start with a pink seed bead. I lied. I'm going to create a little pattern of beads in between. I'm going to do a pink, a gold, a pink, and then a pearl. And I'm just going to fill this up and just make a little hoop pattern with these colors. Okay, I am just going to take off the amount of pearls that I need for my second earring, and I will show you what I have here. So this is my pattern, and I'm going to separate it because I need a center focal area. So it is a gold seed bead in between 2 of the pink Azuki beads, and I've got 3 pearls on each side. So right here in the middle, I skipped the gold seed bead, and the reason for that is where I want to hang this little dangle with the disco ball. That's going to go right there. And I really should have made that first. That would have been the smart thing to do. But I'm going to go ahead and open it and attach it. And then I will show you how I do the simple loop for this little component. So, and I should clamp this off as well. So, it's, it's a hazard that you can lose all your beads, but I think I can hold on to it. So I'm just going to come right here where I skipped the gold seed bead, and my gold wire is going to go right there. And like I said, honestly, that is so backwards. I really should have made those little drops first, but I was so excited to string. So it's on there, and I'll tidy that up after. But now I have like a little teardrop shape with this little dangle on the bottom. And as you see, I'm drawing these together, and here's where I'm going to come with one of the round duos, and that's where the 2 holes just are great. I'm going to come up each hole with the ends of my bead stringing wire and just pull that down. So that is my earring. And now from here, one of the reasons I love the Soft Flex wire is that you can actually let that show. But I'm going to come in with a crimp tube. There is one for the other earring as well. And really you could do a flat crimp here if you wanted to, but I'm going to use my magical crimping plier because these little gold filled number 2 crimp tubes, it will look like one of my gold seed beads when it just tricks the eye. So when it's put together, it will look like one of my little gold seed beads. And I'm actually going to let a little bit of my soft flex wire show, and I'm going to make a loop with one of my strands and go back down through that crimp tube and let the other wire just hang out. Get past my 2-hole bead. There we go. And so I'm just going to organize this loop, and really sometimes when I love the color of my wire and it matches my beads so well, sometimes I will make a kind of a larger loop like that to be part of the design, and I think I might do that today because I'm really liking this color with the Stormy Shores palette that's going on here. So before I crimp, I just want to kind of organize the earring and make sure that I didn't skip anything in my pattern, and that's what I have. It's already so sweet and it's so lightweight. I'm going to, as I said, let this wire hang out. The wire that made the loop is down here and it's hanging out, and everything's facing forward, and I'm going to come with my magical crimping plier and make sure that I am right in the center, close it. I've pinched the 4 corners of the crimp tube, made a square, and now in the opposite direction, and don't close down until you feel that you're right in the center of the divot so that you don't mangle your crimp tube, and I can feel that I'm in there. Now I close it in that direction and just open and close as I go around, just a few times. Okay, and I have this perfect little bead, and it really mimics the seed beads. And you know, like I say this all the time, but a non-jewelry maker will look at this earring when I cut these wires away and have absolutely no idea where this earring starts or stops or how it's held together. I just think it's such a professional, like fine jewelry look. I'm going to try to get that a little bit closer. I don't want to see that bead stringing wire. Much better. And that is my beautiful little earring. So from here, you can add any ear wire that you want. But if you have been around my channel at all, you probably know that I like my interchangeable lever back ear wires. So I don't have a pair. I normally have a pair right here on my work table, and let's see, do I? Today I do not, but I'll show you what they look like if you're not familiar, and I always link them in the description box underneath the video. But I absolutely adore this little update on a pearl earring. So I'll show you how I made the drop, and then I'm going to make the second earring off camera, and I'll put some pictures up at the end so you can see what they look like. So all I did is take my Athena cast ball head pin and the disco ball bead, and then I put this ever so tiny crystal rondelle spacer to top it off, and it's one of the ones with the scalloped edge. So it's really small, but it just adds so much. And then the little 4mm bicones that were in the box just fit down in that crystal rondelle spacer perfectly, and it just adds a little bit of sparkle. And then I'm just going to put a simple loop in the top of this and just bend it like that, and come with my round nose pliers right about there, wrap that over, rotate and bring that around, and then before I pull my pliers away, I just center that loop on my beads. When I take them away, I have this lovely loop, and right where the 2 wires meet, I'm going to snip, and I have this perfect simple loop. And I'm just going to close it, work harden it a little bit, and now I'll do this earring properly. Now on this one, I will feed this in the middle first, and then do a pink Azuki seed bead on each side, and then repeat that pattern that I did of 3 pearl stations on each side of my little drop. So I'll get this done off camera and grab those interchangeable lever back ear wires for newer people that haven't seen. If you've been around, you know I love those, and I I use them constantly because I get in bead boxes every month and I love to make earrings, and that way I don't need an ear wire every single time I make a pair of earrings. So just be a second for you. Be right back. Okay, I'm going to clean up. I love these little trays that I found for for picking up seed beads, but also for the cleanup. They are so easy and convenient. I don't lose my seed beads on the floor. I absolutely love this box. I absolutely love my earrings that I made, and these are my gold-filled interchangeable lever back ear wires. So if you have never seen them before, they have this little cradle right here, and you just drop your earring down, snap it closed, and it is ready to go. So I'm going to do one more thing. Another thing that I absolutely love from Potomac Beads is the Permalac clear anti-tarnish coating. And for these, the only thing that I really need it on is the plating on the ball head pins is high quality and wonderful, but it is just plated. And also my crystal rondelle spacers are just plated. So the cool thing about the Permalac coating, if you are using the semi-gloss, it is also available in matte, but if you're using the semi-gloss, you can brush this over anything that you want to sparkle, that you want it to still sparkle. I just brushed it over that crystal rondelle spacer, and I just touch all my metal with it, and when that dries, it will dry super fast, but it will still sparkle. It does not remove the sparkle like from the bicone if it touched it, or from the crystal rondelle spacer. And this is just something that I do when I finish any piece. So whether I sell it or give it away or keep it for myself, any of my fashion jewelry metals that I've used will stay nice and shiny, and this is so convenient. I used to take my pieces in mass out into the garage on a piece of newspaper and spray Krylon on them, and it does work, but it's really a pain. And this, I can just sit right here at my work table, take a couple of seconds when I'm finished making a piece, brush it on, and by the time I'm done talking, it's already dry and ready to wear. So this is just such a fun project. I love doing earrings this way. You can also add, ear wires, of course, but isn't it sweet? I just love this little pair of earrings. Straighten up my head pin a bit, and just that fast. Earrings and anti-tarnish coating dry, and these are just absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to wear them. Little update on a pearl earring. So don't forget to check the description box. I hope everybody is safe and well and having fun on your beading mats, and I will see you in the next video.